Hylics is a game known for its unique claymation animations and impressive visuals. You play as Wayne and go on a quest to defeat the evil Lord Gibbulus, or Gibby for short. Hylics has a ton of gestures and weapons that allow for a myriad of different playstyles. Instead of doing that, however, I will be playing the game with only items. As in, the only damage I do must be from an item and nothing else. However, I can still use non-damaging spells such as Hypno Sigils and Mystic Meat. Hylics only has 2 damaging items in the entire game: Frozen Burritos and Dynamite. Burritos deal 40 damage to a single target, and Dynamite deals 75 damage to all enemies. You can buy both infinitely from the shopkeeper, but Burritos are 50 bucks and Dynamite is 5,000. Dynamite is a very precious and expensive resource. Since I did absolutely zero testing for this run, as far as I know, there's only a singular naturally spawning Dynamite.
And it's gone!
What?
It's gone. It's all gone.
Probably should mention how this run will be starting off. We start by heading north to the city where you'll find the aforementioned shopkeeper. But this is also where you'll find the only form of cash we can reasonably get right now, outside of the 100 bucks from Wayne's house. All this adds up to around 300 bucks, which is 6 burritos. Obviously, we can't do much with 6 burritos, so we will be avoiding these enemies like the plague. It's here we meet our first party member, Dedismon, hereby referred to as Dez or Dezel, or some say Cosm, whatever you prefer. She has us grab a paper cup found in her house in order to join our party. She'll be doing the same thing that Wayne does, chucking burritos at people. Since I didn't do any testing beforehand, I was trying to think of some ways to progress that wouldn't involve combat. I ended up going to the abandoned facility and using the warp, as I remember that being connected to our third party member, but I couldn't recall the specifics of how to get to them. I ended up finding this spot and figured I was forced to fight this guy, and using my power of 6 whole burritos, I got my ass beat. Death in Hylics is not the end. It's not like most other games where you have to go back in your save or a checkpoint. You spawn in on this island type area where you can activate a crystal to warp back to the main world. However, it does not restore your items, so in this run, we do in fact need to roll back the save, making the rest of this explanation almost pointless. After rolling back, I decided to fight some easy enemies and checking how much money I get and if they drop burritos. Ultimately, it wound up being around equal, so I would gain nothing and potentially lose more precious burritos than I would earn. I ended up going back to the warp and checking out the area again. Instead of fighting the guy that beat my ass, I took a left and found another warp, which would lead me to Sam Nosa's house, our third party member. She joins after talking to her as we offer to grab her magic gauntlets from the basement. However, Sam Nosa is not the only thing we got from her house, since she just had 1,500 bucks lying around, and that equals to 30 burritos, which gives us so much more wiggle room. With those burritos, we return to the guy who beat my ass 2 minutes ago. Hylics doesn't let you see health bars of enemies, so we're just praying that our 32 burritos will be enough. We begin pelting him with burritos, and his goon retaliates with a dark flame to damage everybody for 28. The guard guards my onslaught of burritos, halving the damage each one does, but it wasn't enough and he falls, leaving the horde projection. It tanks 6 more burritos and kills Wayne, however it falls to the final burrito. We leave the fight with 16 burritos remaining and 2,000 bucks richer. Before we leave, we open the door to the harbor gate so that we can progress the game. I want to put it on record right now that I have to listen to this horrid sound every time we get into a fight in the future. Using the newly opened harbor gate, we use the boat to go to a nearby island and do a quick puzzle to open the door, and get greeted by Pangorma, a great dread knight that was locked away in his vault, awaiting a challenger. And his great foe is 3 dumbasses with burritos. I realize as we start the fight that I have not healed my team at all, so our first attempt ends in a party wipe. Starting the first true attempt with my party fully restored, my first move is Hypno Sigils to put all enemies asleep and allowing us to take them out one at a time. We kill guard A before they even get a turn. Unfortunately, when the guard perished, my burrito bloodlust locks onto Pangorma himself, waking him in the process. I throw more Ritos, he farts on my team and poisons everyone. I cast Mystic Meat to remove the poison, and his other guard wakes up to cast Dark Flame and damage everybody. Pangorma beats the shit out of Wayne. I put Pong and his guard back to sleep and begin throwing burritos at Pangorma. He wafts an odor once more, and I use this turn to cast Mystic Meat again and heal up Wayne. A few burritos later and Pangorma falls, and I finish his guard off not too long after. Pangorma now joins our squad as the final member. He also gives us $2,000 in cash. After restocking my various food items, exclusively burritos, we march forth into the graveyard where I spend like an hour trying to remember how to open the door. I somehow did the insta-kill statue area first try, and we enter Act 3 of the game. You may be wondering why we skipped Act 2. With access to the airship unlocked, we can now access islands the boat could not reach. We need to go in this room for some reason, but we need Clawman's permission. Clawman asks us the password, which we do not know, so we guess it a few times and he doesn't like that and begins fighting us. This is bad. According to the wiki, he has 1400 health, which requires 35 burritos. A massive hit to our stock, assuming he doesn't just beat us to death before we can kill him. His first attack does 100 damage to Sam Nosa, nearly killing her instantly. I tried healing her up before his next move, but he's faster and deals 75 to everybody, finishing Sam Nosa off. I use Dez to heal my surviving members and he deals 75 to my party again, leaving everyone in critical condition. I use Dez and Pangorma to heal everyone back to full health. We repeat the process of burrito barrages and it retaliates with a pincer move until he manages to finish off Wayne before I could heal him back up. I use my next turn to make Dez and Pangorma resurrect Wayne and Sam Nosa, but he paralyzes Dez before she can force feed Wayne's corpse a burrito. As I recover and make Sam Nosa revive Wayne instead, he kills off Dez too. I managed to resurrect everyone, but he uses Chrome Flame and kills Sam Nosa again, and hurts everyone else a ton. We bring her back and heal everyone and continue our barrage. Pangorma died and everyone's in really rough shape, but we managed to kill the Claw. The room we needed permission to enter has $750,000. That cash can get us a ship key and a few hot dogs. That plus 122 sticks of dynamite. We use the spaceship to fly to the moon in order to face our final foe, Lord Gibbyless. We raise hell through his home on the moon and tear through his army of enemies with Gibby waiting for us at the end. Now imagine this. You're a super powerful lord with tons of guards and of course your own abilities that allow you to control with an iron fist. Now your fated foe walks in and it's 4 dudes with 100 sticks of dynamites and 1,000 frozen burritos in their pockets. And all 4 of them want to beat your ass. That's what Gibby is going through right now. Yeah, he beats my ass. So I left and went to go kill some early enemies. You may have noticed that the characters don't have levels. That's because you don't really level up in the traditional sense. To quote-unquote level up, you use meat, which drops from enemies. You can put meat in the grinder found in the afterlife for +2 max health per piece of meat. While I was grinding, I found out that the enemies in the facility actually drop dynamite. So, oops. Anyways, we returned to Gibby for the final time, 118 health points richer. Good news, bad news. Good news is that we can rely on dynamite. Bad news, Gibby has 2,500 health. Dynamite deals 75 damage each, which means we need to hit him with at least 34 sticks of dynamite. Worse news, Gibby has a goon that heals him. I start off with Dez casting Mystic Meat to prevent any debuffs, and the rest of the party throws dynamite, damaging every enemy. Gibby drains 150 health from Sam Nosa and hits Wayne too. Every time I can, I make Dez eat a hot dog to heal the party by 50% of their health, while everyone else throws dynamite. The reason I chose Dez for this is because she goes last after Gibby does his attacks, so it helps to keep everyone topped off. I've even made a helpful guide to who goes when. We managed to kill off one of the statues. It wasn't important at all, so I didn't mention it before. Gibby hits us with Gremlins, then Cosmic Procession, dealing a lot of damage. But Dez eats a hot dog and keeps us all afloat. We refresh Mystic Meat and continue the explosive onslaught. Rinse and repeat this entire process, using 2 hot dogs if necessary, and Gibby goes down after like 15 minutes, and we beat Hylics with only items.